In 2002, a movie about a kid from Queens in a red suit became the first film in history to open to $100 million in a single weekend. The faces behind that record are scattered now, some still working, some gone, and one who paid for his honesty with 25 years of blacklisting. Here is what happened to all of them. Number 1 is Cliff Robertson, the man whose 6 minutes on screen launched the most quoted line in superhero history. He was 78 when he played Uncle Ben, an Oscar winner who had once been blacklisted by Columbia Pictures for 25 years. After reporting a forged check scandal involving the studio's own president, he told the truth and paid for it with his career. Columbia didn't hire him again until Spider-Man in 2002, the same studio he had exposed decades earlier. Cliff Robertson died on September 10, 2011, one day after his 88th birthday, of natural causes in Stony Brook, New York. The man who taught Peter Parker about responsibility had already paid the full price for his own. Number 2 is Kirsten Dunst, who was 18 years old when Sam Raimi cast her as Mary Jane, and who the producers asked to get her teeth straightened before filming began. She refused. She had been acting since she was 3, a child model, then a child actor, then a supporting actress in Interview with the Vampire at 11, opposite Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, in a performance that left critics wondering who the adult in the room actually was. The upside-down kiss in the rain with Tobey Maguire became one of the most replicated images in superhero cinema. What the posters didn't show is that it took hours to film, that the rain kept filling Maguire's nose while he was inverted, and that Dunst held the shot long after most actors would have called cut. After Spider-Man 3, her career entered a difficult period she has spoken about openly: depression, burnout, the particular exhaustion of having been working without pause since childhood. She married actor Jesse Plemons in 2022. They have 2 sons. She received her first Academy Award nomination for The Power of the Dog in 2022, 20 years after the upside-down kiss. The recognition arrived late. It arrived. Kirsten Dunst is alive at 44 as this script is recorded, still working, still refusing to straighten her teeth. Number 3 is Rosemary Harris, who walked onto the Spider-Man set in 2002 already carrying a Tony Award, an Emmy, a Golden Globe, and an Oscar nomination, credentials that made her the most decorated actress on the entire call sheet, in a role the credits listed as supporting. She was 74, born in England, raised partly in British India, while her father served in the Royal Air Force, trained on the London stage before Broadway claimed her. She won the Tony for Best Actress in 1966. She was 9-time nominated. Rosemary Harris is alive at 98 as the script is recorded, still the most accomplished actor ever to play a worried aunt in a superhero film. Number 4 is Willem Dafoe, the man who turned a foam rubber Halloween mask into one of the most genuinely unsettling performances in superhero cinema by ignoring the mask entirely. He was 46 when he played Norman Osborn, born in Appleton, Wisconsin, the 6th of 8 children of a surgeon and a nurse who were rarely home. 5 older sisters raised him. He left the University of Wisconsin before graduating to join an experimental theater troupe in New York, co-founding the Wooster Group, work that was the opposite of everything Hollywood would eventually ask him to do. The Green Goblin helmet was rigid, expressionless, and technically impossible to act in. Dafoe asked for it to be redesigned twice. When the final version still couldn't move, he shifted everything into his voice, his posture, the angle of his head. The performance that came out was built entirely from the neck down. He reprised the role in No Way Home in 2021, without the mask, and the critics who had been politely positive in 2002 ran out of superlatives in 2021. Willem Dafoe is alive at 70, still one of the most working actors in American film, with 4 Academy Award nominations and no wins. A ledger that says more about the Academy than about him. Number 5 is J.K. Simmons, who learned he had been cast as J. Jonah Jameson, not from his agent, not from the studio, but from a fan who stopped him on the street and congratulated him before anyone had made the official call. He was 47, a stage and television actor whose work in HBO's Oz had been critically noticed but never widely seen. Spider-Man turned him into a face the entire world recognized instantly. 12 years later, Whiplash gave him the Oscar. J.K. Simmons is alive at 70, still playing Jameson across multiple Spider-Man universes, the only character in the franchise who has never once been recast. Number 6 is James Franco, who had already lost the lead role of Peter Parker to Tobey Maguire before accepting Harry Osborn, the best friend whose arc across 3 films ended in betrayal, death, and one of the most divisive conclusions in superhero cinema. He was 23. He had come off Freaks and Geeks, a show canceled too soon that later became a cult classic, and a TV movie playing James Dean that first put him on Hollywood's radar. Franco's career after Spider-Man rose to Academy Award nominations and collapsed under serious misconduct allegations in 2018. James Franco is alive at 47 as this script is recorded. He settled a misconduct lawsuit in 2021, has largely withdrawn from Hollywood, and was recently seen at a film festival in Sicily, silver-haired, quieter, and by his own admission, a different person than the one who played Harry Osborn. The best friend who betrayed Peter Parker spent his real life learning what betrayal actually costs. Tobey Maguire, who drove to his Spider-Man audition in a borrowed car with a GED instead of a diploma, having dropped out of high school to pursue acting, and who became the face of the highest-grossing superhero film ever made at that point in history. He was 26, born in Santa Monica, to parents who were 18 and 20, and unmarried when he arrived. His father was a cook. His mother managed his early career from the beginning, getting him into commercials by age 6. He never went back to school. Sam Raimi chose him from a field that included Heath Ledger, Jude Law, and Ewan McGregor, specifically because Maguire didn't look like a hero. The studio wanted someone who could throw a punch. Raimi wanted someone who looked like he'd never thrown one in his life. That instinct was the entire film. Maguire married jewelry designer Jennifer Meyer in 2007. They have 2 children, Ruby and Otis. They divorced in 2016. His post-Spider-Man career moved away from blockbusters entirely, toward smaller films, toward poker, toward a life considerably quieter than the one the costume suggested. He reprised Peter Parker in No Way Home in 2021 to an audience that had grown up with him and hadn't forgotten. The reunion was everything the original trilogy promised and never quite delivered. Tobey Maguire is alive at 50, as this script is recorded, quieter than the role ever suggested, and still the only Peter Parker most people close their eyes and see. Number 8 is Elizabeth Banks, who auditioned for Mary Jane Watson and was told at 28 she was too old, despite being only 16 months older than Tobey Maguire, who played her peer. She was given Betty Brant instead, Jameson's secretary, 3 scenes. No arc. She took it without complaint and used the credit as a foothold. In the 20 years since, Banks directed Pitch Perfect 2, produced the Pitch Perfect franchise, and built a career behind the camera that dwarfs almost anything the film's principal cast has done since. The woman deemed too old for the love interest became one of the most powerful producer-directors in Hollywood. The door they closed pointed her to a better one. Elizabeth Banks is alive at 52 as this script is recorded, older now than she was when they told her she was too old. The math has never worked in Hollywood's favor. A woman told she was too old who became one of Hollywood's most powerful directors. A man blacklisted for telling the truth who only came back to the studio that punished him 25 years later to say 6 lines that no one has forgotten. A director in a suit and tie who broke every record they told him he couldn't touch. The spider bit one of them. The rest just refused to let go. Leave a comment. Which one hit you hardest? And subscribe, because next week, another cast. Another set of lives behind the costumes.